Hi, this is Jeanette from Happy Spots and Ink Spots, and today what I'd like to show you is a small tutorial on how to make a crisscross pocket card. The one I'm going to show you is this one here. It measures 6 by 6 when it's finished, and the crisscross is made by these two triangles, and inside the pocket is a little insert that pulls out. So what I did is I embossed an image and a sentiment, but there's place for your salutation or another colored image, whatever you like. So that fits back into the pocket. The stamps that I used for this card are from Whiff of Joy's April stamp kit, 1001 Nights. So what you're going to need to do this is some adhesive. I have tape runner and score pal tape. You're going to need a ruler and an X-Acto knife. You're also going to need some designer paper. I like to use coordinating designer paper, 2 sheets, so that each part of the crisscross is a different piece of paper, but you could certainly use the same paper on each side if you'd like. You're going to need a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock, and then you're going to need cardstock in 2 other contrasting colors. So to start off, what you're going to do is you're going to take your 12 by 12 and you're going to cut it into half. So you're going to have 2 pieces that measure 6 by 12. And then you're going to want to score them at 6, so right down the middle. Now if you don't have a score pal or a scoring tool, that's okay. You can just fold your card into half. And just make sure that the crease is really well folded. So you do that to both pieces. Okay, so now I'm going to put my cutting mat back in. I'm going to take my first piece, I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to create the first triangle. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to line up this corner and that corner, and then I'm going to cut it with my X-Acto knife. Alright, so I have my first side done now. Now this is the only part that's a little bit tricky. You have to imagine that this part is going to sit in there like that. So you're going to want your cut to go this way, to go across. Alright? So just always make sure before you cut the second piece that you're cutting it the right way. So again, I line it up from edge to edge. So that's the first part of my card there. Okay? So then what you're going to need is coordinating cardstock. So this piece here measures 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I'm going to cut this into half. The same idea as what I did with the card base. This is going to form a mat. Okay, and then my designer paper is 5 1/2 by 5 1/2. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. This paper is glittery, so it's a little harder to cut neatly. So I have those triangles, and then the last piece of designer paper that's 5.5 by 5.5. Okay, so now we're going to assemble that up. So I'm going to need my mat, and I'm going to put my designer paper right on top of that, and then that's going to get adhered to this card base. Okay, and then I take a contrasting piece, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. And that's going to go onto my other piece. All right, so now I'm going to put Score-Pal tape on the back of this one. And the reason I'm using the Score-Pal is because it's very strong, and I know this way that my card is not going to fall apart. So just 2 strips down either side. And then you just line it up. Your crisscross is done. So now I'm going to put tape down here. And tape along this side here. Okay, so that part is done now. Then you're going to need a piece of your card base, the same color of cardstock that measures 5.5, and you're going to lay down a piece of contrasting cardstock that measures 5.25. Okay, and then another piece that measures 5 by 5. Now you can have already stamped this out before you do this part. So it gets laid down like that. And then that gets inserted right into your pocket. And you can make some type of tab to put on the top, or you could punch a hole and put a ribbon. That looks pretty too. On my card here, I ran a ribbon around the back, joined it behind where I put this image here. So that's how you make a crisscross pocket card.